What is up, guys? It is CFO Mods Gaming, and today's video is brought to you by Gaimglass or Gaimglass, and I am going to be reviewing their let's see, what would you call it? It's an aim assistant, I would say. So what it is ultimately is a sheet of acrylic or plexiglass type material that has a radical in the middle and allows you to see where the perfect middle of your screen is. I will give you guys a look at it here. And I have already gotten this installed on the computer, and let's jump over to that footage and some in-game footage now. Alright guys, so let's get the Gaimglass turned on and we will jump into a game here of Call of Duty Mobile. I've been playing a fair amount of this game on the official emulator for PC, and it's pretty fun. I actually enjoy it quite a bit on PC. I played it on mobile at first and then started playing it on PC more. So we'll go ahead and make a quick class for snipers, or rather for shotguns, and we'll see. Probably go with a striker. Throw a few attachments on there. Long barrel, laser sight. Go fast mag. Yeah, probably fast mag over extended mag. All right, and we'll jump into a game. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have set up the Gaimglass and it's here at this point, and that is the center of my screen. So an important part of this product, or at least for me, an important part of it is that that center point will be the same across any game that uses the center point for the radical, or for the point that the shots take. I know there's a couple games that are listed specifically on the website that are actually shifted down a little bit, and so then you would either have to adjust the Gaimglass down or just not use it for those few games. But for almost every game, and for all the games that I play, it is exactly in the middle, and so I will never have to adjust the Gaimglass. I'll just, you know, put it up there when I want to use it, or just turn it off when I don't, and it's set up for good. So that's definitely a benefit there. Go ahead and start recording on GeForce Experience as well, so that you guys can get a better look of the gameplay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a virtual overlay of Gaimglass. So what it is it's a photograph of Gaimglass, and then since the lighting it would be different depending on the situation that you're in. That pre-made image allows you to, or allows me to give you guys a proper example of what it's looking like for me, instead of just the phone recording here. Alright, so that was pretty solid. 5-kill streak there, nothing crazy or anything. But I'm usually not that good at shotguns, and that was super easy, just pretty much because... Oh, we lost C, okay. Come over here. Oh, got picked off there early. At any rate, that was super easy because I just turned... There is an in-game radical, but having that, I mean, it's huge. Look, having that green dot to know where the headshot is, so that I can get that one-shot kill instead of body shotting, which takes 2 or 3, is actually pretty solid. Normally, when I aim down sight, obviously I can get that one-shot kill, but without aiming down sights, which of course you have to slow down for, I normally have to shoot multiple times. That was just poor play on my part. I was kind of scared about the guy shooting me from the left as well.
Frag out! Tied for the lead. Bravo. Capture B. Lost the lead.
see what we can do here. There's an interesting thing in this game that I've noticed, and that's that when you're getting shot, you don't really get any indication of that until you're already dead. You may see the red, but like that time there was absolutely zero indication that I was getting shot. And I mean, I suppose that's kind of realistic in a way, but at the same time, having played a lot of other Call of Duty games, that seems kind of questionable. But that's neither here nor there for the review of the Gaimglass. I just say that because sometimes it can be hard to know that I should be spinning around and trying to take that shot. Like there. I felt like I was 100% health and then just dead. But when I do know that I should take the shot, when I see somebody or oh, I got bowed. I hate that thing.
Capturing Bravo.
I say I hate it. I hate it being used against me. I would quite enjoy it if I had one, I imagine. Go ahead and let our HP regen a little bit. But you can kind of see it there where I actually got some red on my screen and I was kind of alerted to the fact that I was being shot. And sometimes I feel like that just doesn't happen, and I'm not really sure why. Not sure if that's my fault or something just with the game, but sometimes it gives you that alert and sometimes it doesn't. So you guys can kind of see. I don't feel like I really need to commentate on this too much. Oh, got bowed again. That is quite the overpowered weapon. Got mollied. At any rate, I just aimed down sights for like the first time, I think, just a second ago. You guys could see that. I just haven't felt the need to, really, because of that green dot. I wasn't even conscious until just then when I was over at on the objective. And I aimed down sights just because there was 3 people there, but before that, and aside from that, I just haven't felt the need to.
We captured Bravo. We lost Charlie. We're failing this mission.
Especially since I can move so much faster when I'm not aimed down sights. Definitely a benefit. So I lost by 7 there, but I mean, frankly, I think I did okay. Here, got the last kill, finished off the sentry, and then came around and got that green dot. Was able to just get straight shot. With the laser, as you can see, that's actually not where the gun is shooting. So even though that does increase accuracy as far as the game mechanic is concerned, it wouldn't necessarily increase your accuracy as far as trying to get a solid shot. So the link to get one of these for yourself is down in the video description below, as well as any discounts that I can get for you guys from them. And that will also be in the pinned comment. I will make sure to keep that updated with any discount codes or coupons that I can get for you guys. Right now there is a special. You can get this for $5 off on their website, as well as any discounts that are below. Thank you guys for watching. This has been CFO Mods Gaming, out. we'll go ahead and jump into server here, and we'll see how this does. Specifically, I'm going to be testing this out in Rust and with the crossbow, because that is a weapon that I will commonly shoot from the hip, and there is no radical in Rust. If you aren't aiming down a sight of some kind, you don't have a crosshair. So, to address another point, I had actually done a sticker crosshair back in the days of Xbox with, I imagine it was Call of Duty, to be able to hip fire shotguns, for instance. And I think I don't even think I bought one. I think I just traced radical onto a piece of shipping tape, maybe, and then cut it out into a circle and taped that onto the monitor. And that did work, I will say. I don't know if it actually made me any better at the game, but it made me more comfortable hip shooting shotguns without aiming down sight, which is, of course, important in a lot of first-person shooters. I am this in the same way. I'm not sure if this is actually going to improve anybody's skills or gameplay in most first-person shooters. However, that's, it's all going to be kind of the same, whether you're putting a sticker up or a virtual overlay or something like this. There is just going to be that difference of how well you can see it for a sticker. You're definitely going to be able to see this better than a sticker. I would say this and the software overlays. And then, of course, with the software overlays, as I kind of mentioned concern for earlier, is that you're going to be dealing with potentially having a game that you play that uses an anti-cheat system, picking that up as something that's operating over the game, which is one of the things that games like that are going to be looking for, to see if you have some kind of hack menu or what have you that is running over top the game. So this is definitely something that obviously is undetectable. If it is considered cheating by the development team of whatever game you're playing, then obviously you shouldn't use it. If you're a content creator like myself and you were to post a video of you using this in a game where something like this wouldn't be allowed, then I suppose it's not ultimately undetectable that way if you are broadcasting the fact that you're using it. But other than that, it isn't going to be accidentally or incorrectly picked up by an anti-cheat system of any kind. And that is kind of what I was mostly going for when I was saying that it was undetectable. So we'll see if we can find some people here. And as you can already see, when you aim down sight in this game, if you're familiar with Rust, although that is true center, you can see that the arrow wobbles back and forth, the tip of the arrow there, as you're walking, especially as you just come up real quick. And you still want to be able to shoot. You can see there it takes quite a bit of time to find center after you're moving quickly or turning around to shoot at somebody. And then it does continue to wobble. That's especially true with the compound bow, which I think I'll unlock if I kill a couple people. I must be on an island that doesn't have a lot of people spawned on it, because I haven't seen anybody yet. I will say the transparency of the glass is surprisingly transparent. I actually am not able to see when I'm just looking down to looking at that green dot. I see the edge in my peripheral, but it doesn't have that green tint that it does from the angle that the camera's at right now, so that's obviously a positive there. I'm just going to go ahead and respawn. Maybe I'll respawn somewhere with more people. Here we go. So I aimed down sight kind of instinctively there since it was at range, but let's go ahead and try out this dot.
There's a fire right here, you ready?
I don't miss.
That was a hit.
I got some fire arrows, you want them? Or did you give them to me?
Close the
I
door,
guess I
I'm
get-
getting chased. Thank you.
Open it, I wanna kill him, I wanna kill him.
Close,
Just have to do it, I wanna kill him.
close. Hey, it's me.
Hey, you can see it.
This one first, this guy first, this guy first, this guy first. This guy is definitely that.
He's using compound.
Looks like these guys are teaming up in here. Oh, here we've got a couple people. Got him. He dodged at the last second. Oh, and I got headshot. And I'm dead. Okay. So, like I mentioned, I am not by any means great at the game, but I was able to land a couple of those. There we go. That's another hit. And I don't think I would be as well. That was another hit as well. So I'm going to say at least for this weapon, and that was a hit as well, for this weapon in this game, and that was a hit and a kill. And I don't think I would have landed that either. So specifically, when you have a game that you're playing and you are using a weapon that you don't want to aim down sight with, so in this game particularly, it slows you down when you aim down sight, and if you have people shooting at you from the sides, then you don't want to stop sprinting. If you're able to just take a shot like that, you can just keep on sprinting. So it's really going to depend on what game you're playing and why you're wanting to have a reticle. I mean, if you have a weapon like this compound bow, for instance, you have that, so you don't need to have an additional reticle. And that would be true with most guns in most FPSs, I would think, especially things like snipers that have a ton of bloom if you try to no-scope, or, I mean, an assault rifle, you're pretty much always going to be aiming down sights when you're shooting. I can't really think of reasons why you wouldn't. Maybe for you there would be. I guess, it depends on the game. That was a hit. That was a hit as well. If I get hit once more, I'm dead, but we'll see what we can do here. Oh, and I died. Alright. The bow, as opposed to the crossbow, you have to aim with. You can't shoot without aiming down sights. But it is kind of nice to have that green dot to know exactly where the head of the arrow is, because as you could see when I was shooting, it's not really true to where the arrow is pointing as to where the center of your screen actually is. So I'm aiming with the green dot as opposed to, let's get some high velocity arrows in here, as opposed to trying to do it off of the tip of the arrow. And that's actually going to be a truer center than relying on the tip of the arrow alone. Surprised that didn't hit. That was a hit there. And that was me just being bad at the game, because there's a headshot there, and I don't think I would have been able to land that. Ah, you got me. I really should switch to the normal bow in situations like that. I was just trying to demonstrate the Gaimglass there. But you see how I'm walking so slowly now, and it's easier for him to hit me when I'm using the bow and aiming down sights with it. That would be the same as if I was aiming down sights with this crossbow. I'd be moving at the same speed, like this, and that's much easier to get hit. Whereas with Gaimglass, I can just run straight for him and take the shot. I still died, because I'm bad at the game, I won't lie, but that's the thing with this, is I think that for people who are already really good with a specific weapon in a specific game, this probably isn't going to add much quality to their gameplay, or make them much better with it, with that weapon, that is. But for somebody like me who isn't experienced with the game or with this weapon specifically, I see people doing what I'm doing, shooting with the crossbow without aiming down sights. I see them doing that all the time in Rust, and I am not to that level where I can do that consistently. because I do not have just a good mental picture of center. And so having this given to me is actually quite beneficial, at least for me at my skill level. I don't think it's for everyone, but if you're learning a weapon or whatnot, then it might be for you. And I hit there. He just died. Oh, I hit that guy. He also headshot me and killed me, though. This guy's clearly much better than me. I think he's 360ing every time. But anyway. This guy now has full health from killing that guy. We both headshot each other. Oh, I guess I just hit him. He headshot me, so I died. He made it out. But now... Oh, he got full health from killing somebody. Oh, that's not something that I had thought of, but in Rust specifically, as any of you guys who play are aware, you can shoot the bow like this by jumping at just the right time. It'll allow you to shoot the bow while in midair. I think it's just right after you draw the bow back. Oh, got hit in the head there, but at any rate, so yeah, I definitely think overall it would affect you differently depending on the game and the weapon. That's my overall conclusion on that. We'll go ahead and jump into a game of Call of Duty Mobile. I think that's going to be a good example of a game where okay. I forget how these work. I think when somebody else opens the door, my door, or maybe it just stays closed for a certain amount of time, I'm not sure. Oh, now I'm stuck in here again.